All right, let's get into, as we wait for Joe Biden on Hanukkah, let's get into some meaty material here. Judge Amy Berman Jackson has ordered the public release of Danny Rodriguez's FBI interview in which he confesses to electroshocking DC officer Mike Fanone. We're going to go through this video. Okay, it is stunning, absolutely stunning stuff. So what should we consider in terms of this? This is one story, one of the hundreds of people that has been charged for their participation in the Trump riots. This is just one. And it goes to brainwashing, radicalization, delusions. It's sad in a lot of ways. It's a lot of different things. So let's just get into it and start listening. Here's this first clip. We're going to go through this. I believe in the order that Ryan Riley published them. Okay, here is where he confesses to electroshocking the police officer.
Okay, what do you want me to tell you? That I taste them? Yes.
Explain.
Am I a fucking piece of shit? Yes.
Why did you taste him?
I don't know. I'm a piece of shit. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Now, there's a lot of speculation. There's a very interesting YouTube video called. This is very, very interesting stuff. Someone is acting. There's a YouTube video on the JCS Criminal Psychology channel called What Pretending to Be Crazy Looks Like. And this is a video I would encourage people to watch. I have no idea whether the emotional outbursts in these interrogation videos are genuine or not. Sometimes suspects believe that pretending to be, quote, crazy helps them in their case. I'm not going to play the whole video, but check out this video, what pretending to be crazy looks like. A lot of people wrote to me and said they don't believe this behavior is genuine. I have no idea. I'm just saying, if you think that might be going on, check out that video first.
He's a human being with children. And he's not a bad guy. He sounds like he's just doing his job, and I'm an asshole.
But why? Why would you go up there with the taser? Why would you take that taser that was given to you from your friends and tase it?
It wasn't given to me by my friends. It was given to me by a stranger. I swear to God. These is not the same tasers.
Okay. Let's go to clip number 2. These are really, really interesting. Let's see if these are in order. That was at 8:39 a.m. This next bit is at, okay, this isn't even a video. Okay, let me go to the next one. We're going one by one here. Okay. No, this one was earlier. Okay, so it's not exactly in order, but I think it'll still be quite revealing for us.
How do you get to January 6th? Like, what else happens in that period of time?
Trump called us to DC.
Tell me about that. How did he let you guys know to come to DC?
So here he's saying Trump told us to come here.
If he's the commander-in-chief and the leader of our country, and he's calling for help, I thought he was calling for help. I thought we were doing the right thing.
A lot of you wrote to me and said, David, this guy is pretending. This guy is pretending, and he's blaming Trump and acting confused, and it's not real. I don't know that at all. I genuinely don't know what to make of this.
I thought I had no plans of what was going to happen. I didn't know what was going to happen. I'm not a leader of anybody. And I thought what was good intentions of going and being involved and being a part of and joining whatever. I didn't know what was going to happen.
Let's actually, I think the better way to do this would be I can just look at the thread in reverse order. Let me see in the order 1 hour. How did he post these? Okay, we'll start here. All right, let's start here with this first one now. We're going to continue.
Look,
we've done this for a long time. We've talked to, like I told you, we talked to a lot of people, and a lot of people are worried about being judged when they talk to law enforcement, that we're going to have an opinion. And I'm telling you right now, we don't hold judgment over you. We want.
Right, it's going to be the jury and the judge, and
No,
it's going to be a
no, but
DC
like
judge.
even as a fellow human being, right? That's what we're telling you. Is we're looking at you today as a fellow human, as a fellow citizen of this country, as somebody who has lived here and put in investment into this country of your work, and you grew up here. And
So this is rapport building, common thing in police interviewing.
look,
I don't have any loyalty to any other country, it's just America, and this is all I know, and this is all I want. And I don't care about any other part of the world except for our team.
so how did the Danny that stood on the line in between law enforcement and Antifa BLM, how did you get to that point? What happened in your life? Like, how did you start going to these rallies?
Infowars.
And just
Infowars? So like Alex
Infowars.
Jones stuff? Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's been around a long time. I know lots of people listen to Alex Jones. Alex Jones has some good information. He's got
Good information. What the hell is this guy talking about? What good information? By the way, Small Fuzzy Moss did send me my Alex Jones impersonation. Globalist, internationalist, Trotskyite socialists, unlike Obama, Trudeau, Macron, and the rest of these Zio beasts. Okay. All right, let's continue here.
you know, I saw that there's like two sides to you. You know, there was this side that kind of DC had, you know, portrayed and showed, you know, that this is your guy, this is what he did. But then I started looking in, like I said, and I saw this Danny who stood in between this angry guy and a law enforcement officer, just in a t-shirt and his red hat. You know, he wasn't the one with a gun and a baton and handcuffs. You didn't have anything, and you stood in between to protect this trained law enforcement officer, right? Yeah. And even to say something, because like, what person nowadays would even say something, right? So many people just ignore and look the other way when they see, you know, like these wrongdoings, right?
Yeah.
But you actually had the guts to say something to that guy and to put yourself, you know, in that position, in that uncomfortable position.
Did you see the day that they all came, like 200 of them, and I stood in the street?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You saw that?
Mm-hmm. And so I think that's kind of what I'm trying to like understand.
I don't know what happened either.
Is I want to know that Danny though. I want to know that Danny that, you know, that kind of intervened in that situation, and I want to know how that Danny got to January 6th.
So I see people in the chat who are feeling bad for this guy, and people in the chat who think this is all an act that he's putting on.
Your story is an important story.
I just think that I don't want to seem crazy or like a conspiracy theorist, because you guys it's gonna come out and I'm gonna get locked up because like I believe this and it's gonna put me in jail.
Okay. So let's continue.
There was I think it was Hollywood. There were police there standing, right? They were just maintaining the peace, you know. And there was this Antifa guy dressed in all black, you know, and he was just agitating him and just kind of like as if he wanted them to do something.
Yeah.
Right? Like he was instigating.
He's making them look bad so that the cops can do something, right. And then give you all film and the cops are abusing you now. And
Exactly. And then I see you like intervening, and you were like, hey dude, chill out. Like, we're here just we're protesting. Like, you need to calm down. It's not about that. It's not about, that violence and that anger, because he was riled up. He was super riled up, and you were pretty calm for the situation, and the officer was calm. He didn't do anything. I was kind of surprised at his restraint, but just kind of seeing that.
I'm not even sure what video you're talking about. Was it with the wheelchair guy?
It wasn't that. I don't know if it was that same day.
You know the wheelchair guy?
Yeah, I do. I saw that one. Yeah.
So the continued rapport building.
So the police they made a line in the intersection, and he goes with his wheelchair, and he grows up to them, and he has a camera, and he just starts like sticking it like this, like in the cop's face. And that's when I first started going to the rallies. I was still pretty new at that time. I didn't know anybody, and I grabbed his wheelchair and I pulled him back like 6 or 8 feet. And the cops saw me. I did it right in front of them. I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And ever since then, they've, because
Yeah, I'm. A lot of people are saying, why are these people even participating in this? And yeah, I mean, listen, I would never do any of these things to begin with. And if I ever ended up in a situation like this, I don't think I would say a word. I would immediately just demand a lawyer and say absolutely nothing. They might have video evidence of me. They might not. Any promises of leniency, if I talk to them, can be lies. I would say I would say nothing. But a lot of these people don't know that. They don't know that. Oh, we've got a hype train going on Twitch. We haven't had a successful full hype train for a long time. I want to say thanks to Fire Starting Camper, Jay Tandaway, Mason, Wind Up Cat, and JP DeBeast already exists, putting us at 7. Also want to let you know that you can use the coupon code OBAMNA to get a membership on my website, joinpakman.com. 68% discount. 69% is when it becomes felonious. So we keep it at 68%. And that's the way we do it. All right, let's go into the next clip here.
Just like my colleague was saying here, our goal today is just kind of to get an understanding of what happened. Right. Because DC kind of has their version of what happened and kind of how
this is actually. I mean, listen, if it were me, I would say nothing and get a lawyer. But the police are coming up with exactly the type of story that often gets people to talk, which is, listen, we've got all these different stories. We want the real story from you. You're the one who has the real story. And then they think, oh, well, I should tell the real story.
They see things, and now it's your opportunity to let us know, what really happened.
Right.
Because I got to be honest with you, like they gave me this case, right? And they were like, this guy assaulted a police officer. So I was like, okay, let me look into this, see what we got here, what's going on, just so, I'm prepared, for the interview and everything. And I started like finding these videos on YouTube of these guys posting Armin Rez, We Are LA, Weber's Way. Are you familiar with those? Those guys, those YouTube videos of all the protests and rallies in LA, right? And I was like, oh, what's going on here? And I was like, oh, dang, there's Danny. There's DJ.
Where'd you see me?
I think there was one in Huntington Beach. There was another one in Hollywood.
No, but you saw me in an interview or just in the background?
In an interview, and then at the protests, right? They were at Back to Blue rallies, and they were at these rallies that were like for conservative values, American conservative values. They were like, and
something about the mention of conservative values makes them cry. That would make me cry too. I mean, it's like that. There's nothing more pathetic than that.
And at that point, man, like I was thinking to myself, because I thought I had an understanding of what was going on, right? They said, oh, this guy's assaulted a police officer, But then I.
Okay. All right. Here, the topic of lawyers actually comes up.
This is an opportunity here for you to let us know and help us understand, because right now we don't frankly understand exactly what happened from your perspective. And I think that there's an opportunity here for us to get clarity on what went down and what you.
I know there's people saying this is David, this is typical. Everything here is typical in police interviewing. I know it is. Everybody relax. When did I say it's not typical? All I said is, if it were me in such a situation, I would say nothing. I would say not. That's all I'm saying. I understand it's typical. This is the classic. We want your side of the story. We're just talking. We want to get clarity. The clarity they want to get is about the crimes you committed. Right? I mean, let's be honest. But I understand that this is all. Everybody relax, okay? Everybody relax. Yeah, the being handcuffed to the sort of like handicap rail thing. That is an interesting touch. That's for interesting. Now, for those saying he should ask if he's being detained, when you're in the interview room handcuffed to a rail, the answer is yes. He could still ask it, certainly, but yes, I think at this point he is being detained. Yeah, that's pretty that's pretty secure. Now I want to see. Now they're going to go into reading his Miranda rights, and very often, again, I'm not passing judgment. This is what police do. There's very slick ways of introducing them. So like right now they're saying, we want to get your side of the story, etc. If I were the police, I would then slip in. Now, before we can do that, before we can get your side and clear this up, I do have to read this stuff to you. And, you can get a lawyer. You don't have to talk to us. Okay. You want to do it with the idea that the real crux of it is, well, we want that clarity. And this is just something to get out of the way. When the truth is, again, if it were me, the advice I've been given just by lawyers I know, say, if you are ever in this situation, never say a word. Let's see if that's the way it goes.
What you see happen. But
if I do that, I don't think it's going to reduce my sentence or something.
Well, let us read you.
Now, he's not wrong, right? He's saying, I think if I give you clarity, it's not going to help me. And he may well be right, because he did it. He did the thing.
Some paperwork here, and then we can talk about how you might be able to help yourself out of your situation.
And remember, the language is always vague. We will talk about how you might be able to help yourself. Any leniency that's promised is not to be taken. We'll tell the judge that you cooperated. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to read this to you.
Just excuse one more time.
Yeah. Let me know if you understand everything, and then if you have any questions, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court.
He's the guy. I don't know if this is deliberate, but Danny Rodriguez is talking to the guy in the green while the guy in the black is reading some of this stuff. I don't know if that's deliberate or not, but he's being unchained as it's already being read.
You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask you any questions. You have the right to have a lawyer with you during questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you before any questioning if you wish. If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you have the right to stop answering at any time. Okay? Do you understand those rights? Okay. You sign right here, and you can read them to yourself as well, and just acknowledge that you understand them.
So now he's reading it.
I want to talk to you guys, and in the past, lawyers have always told me, you don't say anything. We're not going to help you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, look, by signing this, you're just acknowledging that you read your rights and that you're willing to talk to us at this time. Just because you signed it doesn't mean any of these rights go away. These rights are always with you throughout the entire process that you're in the legal system, okay? Does that make sense?
And you have the right, if I ask a question or something makes you uncomfortable, just to let me know.
All right. So he signs it. All right. And then we now get into very, very substantive stuff. Oh, before we move on, I want to make sure I keep up on thanking everybody. Thanks to Margot Cabot, as well as Astro Lycos, Swolobe, and Irie Man for the Twitch Prime subscriptions, putting us at 11. Very much appreciate that, guys. And over on the website, I do want to say thank you to Carolyn Pugh. Carolyn just signed up at joinpakman.com and is new member number 12. Remember, you can use that coupon code OBAMNA, which saves you oodles of money. Oh, I do have a couple of other, I'll just very quickly mention, I have a couple of other new things on my soundboard, thanks to Small Fuzzy Moss. I mentioned already, I have the Alex Jones impersonation. Globalist, internationalist, Trotskyite socialists, unlike Obama, Trudeau, Macron, and the rest of these Zio beasts. Right. I also have my beans rant from yesterday. You couldn't find black beans, you couldn't find pinto beans, you couldn't find kidney beans, you couldn't find cannellini beans, you couldn't find refried beans, you couldn't find spicy refried beans, you couldn't find fava beans. Okay, I could go on. All right, and then I have my pasta rant as well. No spaghetti, no ziti, no penne, no gnocchi, no pappardelle, no rotini, linguine, angel hair, cavatappi, tagliatelle, fusilli, macaroni, farfalle, conchiglie. You couldn't find lasagna noodles, guys. Okay, all right. So those are now on the soundboard, and I think they're very well complimented by Judge Schroeder.
By the way, how are the calzones?
Yeah. Oh, okay, very good. All right, let's continue with the interrogation. I apologize.
So just so you know, my name is Enrique Armenta. I'm a special agent with the FBI. Okay.
My name's Agent Elias, also special agent.
This is all out of order. This is before they actually Mirandize him. So this won't even be part of the trial.
You seem to have a pretty good idea while we're here, right? If you need some tissue or something, just let me know. Okay, we can grab you something.
No sense of crying. I can't be crying what I did. What's wrong with me?
So what I wanted to do is kind of just explain what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to give you an opportunity to kind of help us understand, what happened from your perspective. Okay. I want to give you that opportunity. That's why we're here.
So let's continue because, oh wait, is this everything? Oh no, it's not. Okay, let's continue here. That part is not even going to be part of the trial because it's before they even Mirandized him. Let's move on to the next segment.
And you think that's why you're here today? Is because you climbed the scaffolding?
No, you guys kind of told me. I assaulted an officer.
Like, could we get a proper mic on this guy?
You want to talk about that?
Because I tell you what, everybody else is going to talk about that.
Yeah, I'm pretty ashamed.
He's ashamed.
Like Enrique said, there's a story that's being written about Danny Rodriguez, and right now DC has told that story to a judge.
Now, I guess the controversy here is some are saying he shakes his head no when asked if he wants to talk and then says he's ashamed. And there's now a question, I guess, as to whether that's him invoking his right to counsel and therefore the entire confession gets thrown out. Let's look at it again. I'm going to crank it up too.
I assaulted an officer.
You want to talk about that?
Because I tell you what, everybody else is going to talk about that.
Yeah, I'm pretty ashamed.
Huh. I mean, it's a very subtle head shake. I don't know about that. I can barely see it. Let me see if we can even zoom in here. I don't know that he's really. I think this is going to stand, but let's see.
You want to talk about that?
He does. Okay. He does shake his head. He does shake his head. Let's look at it once more.
You want to talk about that?
I don't know if it all gets thrown out. I mean, the argument I guess that they may try to make is at that point the officers broke the law by continuing to question him. I have a hard time imagining that is going to be a valid basis to throw it all out. I don't know. He's also not asking for a lawyer. Right. That's a fair point as well. He's saying, I don't want to, and you could argue, he says he doesn't want to talk about that. Listen, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Because I'll tell you what, everybody else is going to talk about that.
Yeah, I'm pretty ashamed.
I mean, the like Enrique said, there's a story that's being written about Danny Rodriguez, and right now DC has told that story to a judge, and the court of public opinion has a story from the Huffington Post, has a story from Water Spider on Twitter, from Antifa and BLM.
Right, so that's pretty slick. They're like, listen, right now Antifa and Black Lives Matter are writing the story of what you did. Don't you want to write the story of what you did?
They're telling the Danny Rodriguez story.
You guys have probably seen more videos than me. I don't know all these videos.
Chad Loader, Desert Border, all these guys.
They're all telling the Danny Rodriguez story.
I haven't seen any of those.
But here's your opportunity to tell
Guys, please stop telling me that what they're doing is typical police interviewing. I know that. Guys, we're talking here. Can everybody just relax? Like, what is wrong with you guys?
your story.
My story is just that we thought that we were gonna save America. We were wrong.
All right. So check this out. Danny Rodriguez's lawyers, quote, because agents ignored Mr. Rodriguez's invocation and continued questioning him, all statements related to and addressing the alleged assault must be suppressed. Wow. Let's see how they explain it. Law enforcement must respect the individual's wishes to cease interrogation concerning any topic covered by a limited invocation. This means no more questions not only about the covered topic, but also about any topics that the police should know are reasonably likely to elicit an incriminating response. While an individual can reinitiate interrogation on a topic he invoked the right to silence on by bringing the subject back up, the initiation must be done without prompting. Here, Mr. Rodriguez unambiguously and unequivocally invoked his right to silence selectively and specifically to any questions related to the alleged assault of Officer Fanone. Because agents ignored Rodriguez's invocation and continued questioning him, all statements related to and addressing the assault must be suppressed. Any argument that Mr. Rodriguez reopened questioning related to the alleged assault by answering the questions after invoking his right to remain silent fails because all answers and discussions were prompted by law enforcement. So that's the argument I imagined they were making. It is exactly the argument that they were making. So, I mean, we will see. We will see. We already looked at that pretty closely. All right. Now they get into the part about the actual tasing. Oh, thanks to Tula for You and Walida HC, as well as Dirtnap and Jam Dog for the Twitch Prime subscriptions. If you're just joining us, we're looking at the police interview, some would call it an interrogation, of Danny Rodriguez, one of the hundreds of Trump rioters. This is the guy who tased Officer Michael Fanone. We're also standing by because in about 15 minutes, Joe Biden is going to be participating in it's the Festival of Lights, my friends. It is the menorah lighting on the fourth night of Hanukkah. And that will be at the bottom of the hour. But in the meantime, we're looking at this interrogation video. Let's continue.
At that point, he's struggling to be let go.
Yeah.
And you chose to assault him while he's struggling?
Well, I just felt that, I didn't know what they were going to do to him.
And so you tasered him to protect him?
I mean, that sounds stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know if I tased him to protect him, but maybe just to, so he wouldn't struggle and get hurt, maybe. That's
a very strange explanation. I tased him so he would stop struggling and maybe hurt himself. Wow. My guess is this kid's lawyer is not going to go with that in court. That's probably not the defense to use in court. He tased him for his own good. It disabled his struggling, during which he might have hurt himself. It's almost what police might say, right? When we have a police brutality case, it's almost the type of defense you would listen. We believe that the suspect was going to do something very, very dangerous. And so to avoid the suspect doing something for which we would have had to shoot him, we tasered him, even though it didn't really make too much sense at the time. Yeah. OK, let's continue.
If they're going to beat him up or injure him, or like, I don't know if they're going to, I don't know what was going to happen to him. And honestly, I didn't think very much about it because when I did it, I was like, oh my God, what did I just do? And I got out of there. I left. I did it and I left. Because I was pissed. The taser there was 3 tasers. 2 we brought. None of those 2 that we brought got used.
Danny, you understand how serious this is, right? You understand that you're the one facing, like, full disclosure, all the cards out on the table. You're looking at 7
What is that background noise?
federal felony counts.
I was just
7.
What is that, the rest of my life in prison?
It's a lot of years, man. So if you're not completely honest with me, because you're not being honest with us.
I am being honest.
Listen, Dan.
What am I not being honest about?
I can't help you if you're not being honest with us.
Okay.
That's a classic police line.
What am I not being honest about, guys?
Let me play this for you.
Okay, he was looking up a video on the phone. I got it. Okay, I'm so stupid. I thought I was going to be awesome. I thought I was a good guy for doing this stuff, tasing a police officer.
Danny, did you feel like you were the 3% here? Like those people that stormed the Capitol, those were patriots. Those are people who are doing that because they were the 3% that were going to free our country from fraudulent politicians and schemes.
By the way, this is 2 hours into this.
Evil people, so that way we could have a republic that was going to be whole again. Is that what you thought? You thought you were that 3% guy. I know, man. I know. It's okay.
I'm sorry, guys.
No, we know. Look, listen.
so sorry.
We
Touch
know
on the
you
thigh.
saw that you were that
That's a classic police move.
3% guy.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know that we were doing the wrong thing. I thought we were doing the fucking right thing. I thought we were gonna be. I'm so stupid.
Wait, this guy's 38 years old. Is that true? I thought this was like a kid. How old is this guy? He's 38. Is that true? 38 years old? What on earth? Oh my God, he's 38. That's insane. I thought it was a little kid. Oh, all right. That puts a new spin on it. Okay, so now that changes my perception of the entire thing almost. I thought this was like a barely 18-year-old.
I thought I was gonna be awesome.
I thought I was going to be awesome. A 38-year-old. So, okay, now I'm confused. Does the fact that he's 38 and he's talking like this make it more likely that this is fake? Or more likely that he's a cultist? I'm not even sure. Now I'm confused. I don't know. Yeah, this guy's older than me. It's weird. All right, now they talk about a guy with a Swedish scarf, I guess. Let's continue.
Okay. Who is that Swedish scarf guy?
That's that guy.
Is that him?
Yeah. I
That's
don't know
him?
him though.
You don't know his real name?
He doesn't have a Swedish accent.
It's just a scarf. I think that's why they're calling him that.
So you're looking for him too?
Somebody is, not me. I just heard about it, so I was just curious.
You guys are just assigned to me only?
Yeah, they give us cases, and we just, go.
He seems shocked that there's an entire team just investigating him. Here the topic of, some people call it Kanon or QAnon or Canoon comes up, and that's quite a topic. Oh, thanks to So8500 for the Twitch Prime sub. I appreciate that guy. This, by the way, this is now 3.5 hours in.
Is there really going to be all these prison cells open for all of us, or what?
What are you talking about?
Is there enough room for all those 10,000 patriots?
Did you hear what he said there? Is there enough room for these 10,000 patriots? Like, do they have enough prison cells for 10,000 patriots?
Is there really going to be all these prison cells open for all of us, or what?
What are you talking about?
Is there enough room for all those 10,000 patriots?
Now it makes me think it is all an act, right? I mean, if he's still if after 3.5 hours, after the crying and everything, now I'm starting to think it is an act, that he's acting crazy.
Do you follow QAnon very much?
Do you follow QAnon very much? Is the reaction? That would be my reaction too, quite frankly.
No, because it's
Just
not anymore.
and then just right here, one $10 bill, two $1 bill.
You were in the queue at some point?
Not really. It was too confusing and cloudy and disinformation.
Isn't that genius? It wasn't that QAnon is obviously false. It wasn't that the people associated with QAnon are absolutely disgusting and out of their minds. The QAnon was just too confusing. He couldn't figure out what QAnon was about. And so he's like, nah, it sounds like he's kind of saying I didn't really get it. Man, this is really something else. This needs to be looked at like the Zapruder film, frame by frame, to really understand what's happening in this country.
From the beginning, there was multiple cues, so it couldn't be trusted.
Right.
He couldn't identify the real Q. There were multiple. I don't know what to make of it. It's all very strange.
But I am familiar with some of the topics of Q, and like the child, the pedophile stuff.
Yeah, because you had mentioned something about pedophiles earlier, and so I was wondering if you were into the Q stuff with that.
Well, that stuff's been out there for a while. And
Pizzagate, all that? Are you into that stuff?
yeah, the pedogate thing.
I was into pedogate. Yeah, I was in pedogate. I liked the first season, but then the writing kind of went downhill.
I was following that stuff before.
Do I need to make a copy of this, Nate?
The receipt?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll book it with his property.
Okay.
Man, this is crazy.
Let me make a copy real quick.
So is it the last time I'll see you guys?
No, I'll be around.
See you in court or what?
There's
string in my
potential
mouth.
for that, at least later on.
I'm gonna take it to trial.
Well, you certainly have your rights to do that. You can have a seat here. We'll be ready to go in a minute. Just don't sit on your hands. Just try to sit on the edge of the seat. There you go.
I guess I'll take my chances with the jury.
Trial strategy. He'll take his chances with the jury.
Let's see how they feel.
Well, like I said, that you are certainly entitled to a jury trial, and that you are more than welcome to talk with your legal counsel about that.
Yeah, why would anyone do 3.5 hours of this without a lawyer? You guys are absolutely right. Man, it's all crazy. Meanwhile, a right-wing pundit who appeared with Tucker and Megyn Kelly, previously called Mike Fanone a crisis actor, is now claiming that the MAGA-hatted rioter who drove a stun gun into Fanone's neck was framed because he protested. It's crazy. So that's the gist of it, guys. We're standing by for the menorah lighting. It is the fourth night of Hanukkah.